Hey, Gruff, can you tell me a spooky story on this Halloween?
Sure. Here is the story. Chicky. Spooky Sam stands in front of a dark, foggy forest, holding a flickering lantern that casts eerie shadows. His glowing eyes narrow, and he leans in, speaking in a deep, raspy voice. It was a night just like this one, when the fog crept in thicker than a witch's brew. Deep in the woods, there stood an old, creaky cabin. They say nobody dared to go near it, except for one curious traveler who thought he had nothing to fear. He waves his bony hand dramatically, letting the lantern light dance as he continues. He'd heard the stories, of course, about the shadows that slithered behind the windows when the moon was full, and the whispers that seemed to float through the trees, even when the wind was dead still. But he thought, just old tales, meant to scare the faint of heart. So, one dark night, he walked straight up to that cabin, his footsteps crunching on the fallen leaves, each step louder than the last. Spooky Sam pauses, lowering his voice to a haunting whisper, letting the tension thicken in the air. But when he reached the door, something strange happened. The air turned cold, colder than any winter night. And then, the door creaked open, slow and eerie, without him even touching it. Inside, the darkness swallowed every bit of light, and that's when he saw it. His own shadow, standing across the room, moving when he didn't. He leans in closer, a wicked grin spreading across his skull face, as his voice drops to a sinister tone. The shadow reached out with long, twisted fingers, and just before he could turn and run, those shadowy hands grabbed him and dragged him into the darkness. They say that if you listen carefully on nights like this, you can still hear his voice, whispering from that old cabin, warning travelers never to step inside, unless they want to be trapped with him forever. Spooky Sam takes a step back, the lantern's light dimming as a cold breeze sweeps through the trees, carrying his last words into the fog. Don't forget to subscribe to Gruff Cartoon for more hilarious dog tales. Hit the bell icon to never miss a new episode from our grumpy hero, Gruff.